Hey guys, it's me, the Expletive here today, and today we're doing What If Deku was in Fallout New Vegas Redo. But before I start, you guys are asking me what if Deku, no, not with Deku, what if Bell's like evolutionary armor be? This should be his armor. But I will make that a vote. If you guys say yes or no for this image, then okay. But that will be, the post will be made tomorrow, because right now, guys, I'm actually on a bit, not much time, because right now I really have to go to bed, but I'm going to stay, well, I'm not going to stay up, I'm just going to go to bed. When it hits 11, I'll go to bed, but if I want to keep going, I'll keep going at 11, no, 11, no, oh, screw it, I'll just go to bed, whatever. Anyway, where I left off, as Momo was like hugging Deku really hard, and Deku's like, sheesh, I don't even know who you are. Or, just whatever. As Momo was like, wait, so you can't remember anything? As Momo lets go of hugging him. As Deku's like, yeah, I had my memory lost due to a bullet being shot through my head and the piece of metal like taken out. So Momo's like, but so you can't remember anything. So as Deku stops her right there, Deku says, listen, I have another person that says I'm class 1A. Also, I don't know what you guys are on about with these some type of quirks or something. I don't really understand. I did have the explanation, just I find it weird. Esmond was like, well, you see, Aztec was like, listen, we don't have time to explain. Esmond was like, oh, why is that? Aztec was like, well, because Caesar is a cruel man. He has a grudge against me, so. Esmond was like, why does he not, what did you do to piss him off, Izuku? As Deku's like, well, I did murder him and his entire camp, so that's something. His mom was like, you killed someone? Don't you feel terrible? As Deku was like, no. First time I killed, I did feel terrible, but second time just felt different. His mom was like, but if you can't, but Deku, if you kill someone, you can't be a hero. Deku's like, I am a hero here. And I don't know what you're talking about, but all this hero business is just not kind of my style. As Milton was like, but you always said, as Deku's like, listen, if you were in my shoes, I would just shut up and just follow me, okay? This is the best situation you got, Mom. But Aizarozu. She says, alright. Walking through the Mojave Desert. She says, where are we going? Deku says, well, we're going to a truck stop. Give me a minute. And she bet Deku looks on his Pip-Boy. And Mo's like, what's that? And Deku's like, you never seen one of these? She says, no, what are they? Then Deku explains how, no, well, basically, it's a Pip-Boy. It shows me how much you can carry and to lock on the enemy's targets. But however, the percent is not always accurate. I sometimes miss, but sometimes I do pretty good, a decent amount of shots to the wounds or the limbs. She says, oh, so, as Deku's like, besides, you need some basic gear. She says, what kind of gear are you talking about? As Deku tells Momo to stay here, she notices at the gas station that there's a trail of blood leading somewhere. As she begins following it, as Deku got back from the clerk, Deku's like, where the hell did she go? As Deku sees her in the distance, and Deku's like, shit. As Deku slowly, like, I don't know, puts the items in his inventory, and then begins running towards her, just says, hey, don't go near there! And she says, why? Let's investigate. As a giant ant pops out of the dirt, the giant ant worker pops out of the dirt, and bites on her leg. She, like, begins screaming in pain. She's like, ow, it hurts, help me. As Deku's like, things, God, man, you should have, man, Deku's saying, I said, you should have just stayed where I told you to stay. Deku pulls out his anti-rifle and shoots the thing in the head, cutting through the brain clean. As the giant ant's corpse fell over, as the ant had exploded to a million pieces. Momo was like in a lot of pain, and her leg wounds like really deep. As Deck was like, "You idiot! Why didn't you listen to me? I told you to stay there, and you didn't listen." I suppose like, "I'm sorry." She's losing a lot of blood. Deku's like already noticing, already like noticed. He says, as Deku rips off, as Deku begins like putting some bandages on the wound and applying pressure and sewing it up. Momo fell unconscious during the whole procedure. Deku just had a little bit of anesthesia, enough to make her deal with the pain. After that, she was just unconscious. And Deku's like, damn idiot. As Deku begins carrying her back to the gas station, and the clerk's like, so, you need some more, I'm guessing you need some more anesthesia? As Deku's like, you always know me, buddy. You always know me, Jack. As Deku, like, tosses Jack the caps, and Jack tosses Deku the extra anesthesia, or gauze to be more precise, and Jack says, You better make sure you take care of her, buddy. She's quite aware. As Deku's like, yeah, I know, Jack. As Deku begins walking towards Novac, as Momo is kind of waking up, she's got going in and out of consciousness. As she gets there, as she gets to Novac, as she sees a dirt road, her eyes begin opening and closing. As Deku's like, looks like you're starting to wake up. As Deku just got to Novac, and Deku said to the guard, said to Boone, hey Boone, is she here? As Boone says, yeah, she's been trying to escape all day, but you know how it is. And Deku's like, thanks, Boone. As Juno was just in her room, just locked in. Or Jiro. Juno. Never mind. Yeah, Juno. As Deku opens the door, as Juno begins about to tackle, as Juno tackles the door, Deku opens it, just says, jeez, could you stop hitting the door? You know, you do realize you have to pay for that, right? As Juno's like, come on, Isuku, come on, just get this thing off my neck. As Deku's like, okay, sheesh. As Juno, as Deku took it off, Juno knows that there was someone on his back. Let's just say Momo was on the backside of Deku, like her face was. As Juno says, "Who's this?" Deku's like, "I don't know. Her name's what was it? Momo Aizurozu." As Juno says, "Momo Aizurozu, is that you?" As Deku's like, "Oh, you two know each other?" And Momo's just, "Yeah, we know each other." As Juno's like, "What did you do to her?" And Deku's like, "Whoa, I didn't do this to her. A giant ant soldier did. It, she has been. I did extract some of the fire, cause yeah, but I did my best. So, but however, she won't be able to walk in the next 2 months. So you two better watch her, or you better take care of her, Journal, because right now we're stuck here. Azuma was like, "What do you mean?" As Deku closes the door and then begins explaining of how they're stuck here for like forever. However, there is only one way trip back though, but it's going to take a lot of years, so to speak, for them to understand this wasteland. Even though all of them, Class 1A, cannot use their quirks. And they think they were all special. But no, they're not in this world. Not here. As Deku begins, let's just say, as Deku begins being done with the explanation, he says to Momo Aizaros, or Momo, who's like kind of like listening and trying to stay awake, as Deku's like, because as Deku was looking at Momo, he begins going into the bathroom that was locked. He grabs his keys and unlocks it. He opens it. He grabs a medical thing, and he grabs some. Let's just say some. Plastic tube and a needle. As Deku has a blood bag and has actually got the blood from the fridge. So yeah, as Deku says, so Momo, I mean not Momo. So Juno, what blood type is Aizarozu? As she says, well, she's AB negative. As Deku's like, okay, I have that. And she says, have what? As Deku says, well, she lost a lot of blood at the thing, so at the ant worker, so, and her wound is kind of, well, her wound's not hasn't opened yet, which is good, so, but she needs a blood transfusion. If she doesn't have one, she can't, she'll probably die of blood loss. She says, oh, so doesn't mean she will die? Dick's like, no, no, no. It's just I have to give her some blood. As Deku grabs a thing where you hold the blood things on it. As Deku begins setting it up, he puts the needle in Momo, and Momo begins like getting some of her color back. She wakes up just as she begins waking up in the next 2 days. As Deku went out, and Juno's like, "Oh, Momo, you're awake." As Juno hugs Momo, it's like, "Ow!" Momo's like, "Juno, could you let go of me? I can't breathe." As Juno says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." So Momo's like, "So, where are we?" As Juno's like, "Well, Izuku brought us here, and yeah." As Juno's like, "So, I'm guessing there's a way back home." As Juno shakes her head, "No, there isn't." As Deku just got back, Azo says, "Okay, I'm back," wearing his NCR armor. That's a secret. No, you were not supposed to see that. As Deku, Deku was like saying to him, so, if I were to understand this correctly, as Deku and Juno were like saying, as Deku was talking to them when he got in, just says, so, I'm guessing all of you are not used to killing people, am I right? As they say yes, and Deku's like, huh. Besides, I'm guessing, Momo, you probably had some shooting skills. As Juno's like, no, as Momo's like, yeah, I shot a handgun and a rifle before. As Deku's like, if I give you a hunting rifle that has attachments on it, could you use it? Momo says, yeah, I can use that. As Deku's like, good, because we're moving out. As Juno says, but wait, didn't you say she can walk for at least 2 months? As Deku's like, I did say that, but as Deku grabs a stem pack and injects it into her leg, and Momo's like, whoa, why does my leg feel a lot better? As Deku's like, you're welcome. I was trying to find gathering components for a super stem pack. They can heal your wounds really quickly, but they're fucking really hard to make and find how to make one just for you. So please accept it. As Momo's like, oh, okay. As Juno's like, wow, I didn't know such medicine existed. As Deku's like, well, it's news to me. Basically, this can heal any bone, any broken or deepened wounds. It basically helps your body regenerate much quicker. So, as Deku points to the map, we're going to see something. As Juno's like, where are we gonna go see? As Deku's like, well, we're going to a place that I like to call. As Deku grabs his revolver, as Deku begins grabbing his anti-rifle, and he let's see, what's up? As Deku's like, what else is in here? As he just finds the dog 9000, and Deku's like, oh, I haven't seen this thing. I haven't used this thing in a while. Deku pulls out a robotic gun that has a brain, and almost says, ew, what's that? As Deku's like, oh, guys, that's mean. It's a dog. As the dog's like, whimpers like saying, did you put that dog's brain? Deku's like, no. A guy, one of the researchers did, so he's like, yeah, he's like the best gun ever. But he weighs a lot. You want to see? Momo's like, okay. As Momo like begins like holding the handle, and Deku like lets go of it. It hits the floor like just like, dung. You see like a metal like sound, and Momo's like, jeez, what is this thing made out of? And how can you lift it? And Deku's like, I don't know, just by working out, and just by I don't know, using it like for the rest of my for being just using it for like a little like mission I did to get my brain back, and both of them they say, wait, get your what back? And Dick was like, listen, I'll explain it to you later, but I have heard rumors about someone like be I have heard some rumors with my intel I've got from New Vegas that they found someone that kinda looked like a demon and a frog. And I'm guessing you two know them. As both say, yes, they're Mina and Floppy. Sorry guys, I can't remember her name. As Deku's like, I see. Well, they're, as Deku sits down and tells them the other bad news. You see, the one with the horns is going to get crucified and burned. And both of them like saying, what? And the one that looks like a frog is gonna how should I put this in a term Uh, yeah, basically, yeah, basically the frog will be eaten and, basically the frog will be eaten and put on and made for experiments. As both of them saying, we have to help them. Deku's like, hold on. You can't just waltz right in. You need a plan. Looking for you two, I got one. Besides there are there are two things in Vegas. One, druggies. Two, guards. Third, people that will try to bring you to an ambush. However, you must follow these three rules not to get yourself killed. Also, I have I have Juno here's a modified pistol. I pretty much know that you can't fire any rifles or hunting any rifles, but I'm pretty sure you can fire a pistol. It's just fine. As Momo's like, so am I on sniper duty or? Doug's like, no, well, actually, Momo, you're actually going to be with Juno rescuing Floppy. Both of them saying, why us? Doug's like, well, I'm pretty much having the toughest mission any of you guys can combine. As they're like saying, what's that? As Doug is like, well, I basically have to fight through fight through an entire gang that have insanely powerful weapons. And yeah, but yours is going to be easy. First, they'll be moving here by tonight. Let's see, they'll be moving here by the street. Find the one that has a gag face on her. They'll be at this location. And you come up the rear. As soon as they pass, shoot from behind, and Momo got the front. You got that? As both of them saying, yeah. And Dick was like, good. But both of them stopped. Both of them are leaving Novac, and they both say, Izuku, what's your plan to get Mina? And Dick was like, oh, I already have a plan. But I don't want to explain it to you, because if you two somehow get captured, then I can come rescue you. And Derek saying, okay then. As they finally freaking arrive at Vegas, as Deku begins walking, as Juno, Momo, and Deku begin walking through the doors, and Deku says, "Well, we're here." As Juno's like, this place is a bit broken down and rubble." Deku's like, "Yeah, but this is the only way to find them." As Deku puts his hands together, my intel says they will be right at this spot as they're turning to the left. I heard they're going to be coming through here, so Juno. You get the back, you get the front, and Juno, you get the rear. As Deku says, "Good luck, you two." Leaves them. 5 hours later, people are like walking down, like saying, "Are you sure we should be? Are you sure we should moving this abomination through the streets?" As the other soldiers like, as the other guards like, dude, we have 4 people guarding here. Also, look at us. No one's gonna mess with us. And besides, we're gonna murder this thing and sell it and we're gonna give it to, and we're gonna kill her. Make sure she's her body experimented on. We'll give it to a researcher so he can do whatever the fuck he wants with it. As the other guy's like, oh. As the soldier's like, that doesn't sound bad. And the pay isn't bad as well. And the other guy's like, yeah, I know. As the guys are walking in the position where Deku told them to be, or Deku would say that they would be, Juno comes out of the corner, shoots the guard in the head by accident, as she feels terrible at the second. But as Momo jumps out from the front and shoots the other guard, shoots the guard, shoots the sec, shoots the, okay. She shoots the third guard, but the bullet went straight through that guard to the other guard, and now there's one guard left. And they all feel terrible as the guard begins trying to point at Juno. Momo lifts up her gun and shoots the guy in the head. All you hear is like blood spatter all over the wall. As both of them are like, they feel terrible, but they just shrugged it off a bit so they could see Floppy. When they removed the gag, it looked like she was been beaten, abused, and they noticed that some of her bones have been broken. As they will say to her, "Don't worry, you'll be fine." As Deku told them to meet at the gates as soon as he got done with his things. Now we go on to Deku's mission. As Mina's like saying, "Please, you don't want to do this. I'm just a kid." As all the guards say, "Whatever, demon. We know your tricks. Even though you're a pink, which is weird for being a demon, but you must have been a failure of a demon." That was all the guys in the gang's like laughing. As Deku like slowly kills one of the guards on the balcony with a knife to his throat, slashes it, puts him down, puts the body down, and begins doing the rest with the other guards. As one of the guys begin going upstairs, Deku puts on his rebreather and goes into the fountain that has a crack through it, so it was building up like a wad of water. As Deku gets out of the fountain, he goes he let's just say he begins choking the guy slowly, and he snaps the other guy's neck and drags him to the wall. And there's only 3 people left now, and the guy's like saying, "Hey, guys, come down here. Do you want to? Let's all enjoy this." As the guy's like, "Guys," as the other guy like tries to find out, tries to as the other guy begins walking up the stairs, the guy stopped moving, and the other 2 guys like, "Jay, hey, you okay, man?" No response. As the second guard went to the other guy that was just standing on the stairs, when he touched him, he fell down on the other guy with a knife in his face. And plus, Deku was actually he was on the roof, and he had a knife on there, and he stabbed the guy through the face because his Pip-Boy only had 130 seconds, because that was the Mark II Stealth Boy. As the other guy's like, "What the hell? Is this your doing, demon?" As Deku uncloaks and begins choking it, as Deku grabs the guy's throat and lifting him, it says, "No, no, it's me." As Deku stabs the guy in the throat, ripping it out, splashing the blood all over the stairs and on his visor. As Deku like creaks his neck, like, "Oh man, this is getting too addicting." As the guy says, "Don't move, man. Don't move, man." As the guy's pointing at the wood surrounding Mina. As the guy says, "So, there's another demon. If you go anywhere near me, I'll shoot this off. I'll shoot the gun. I'll shoot the gun where we spray all the gasoline." As Deku's like, "Oh, that is so rich. You do realize that I wanted you to stand there." As the guy keeps backing up, and the guy just stops, says, "What?" Oh, here's like, explosion. And Deku put a landmine down right there Deku put a landmine there for like hours ago, like minutes ago. And Deku's like, as Mina's blindfolded, just says, "Who are you?" And Mina has blood on her has blood on her clothes, and she says, "Where am I? Hello?" As Deku begins cutting off the rope, and she begins falling onto the ground, she says, and she was beginning to get up. She says, "Hello? Is anyone there?" Shh. As Deku begins unblindfolding her, and she looks around the room, and it's like a bloodbath in there. She just says, "Please don't hurt me." As Deku has a voice changer in his visor, because fuck it, he has to have a voice changer. As Deku's like, "Don't worry, don't don't worry. I'm not gonna kill you, but some of your friends wanted me to help you, so I am." As Deku begins cutting off the other, cutting her hat, cutting all the ropes on her, cutting the ropes on her hands. As Deku says to follow him, Mina's like scared, but she she just cooperated. As Deku gets back to the gate, as Deku's like, "Okay, I'm here." As Juno and Momo are like not talking, just like saying, "So, how does it feel, you two, to kill? I don't know, to kill someone?" As they both didn't say anything, they just said it was terrible. As Deku just, as his visor still, just says, "Well, uh." As Deku looks at Floppy and just says, "Oh, I see. You two can chat with Mina. I'll go fix her up." As Deku begins carrying her off into a broken building that has a broken, halfway destroyed building, begins patching her up. She says, "Thank you, whoever you are, stranger." As Deku says, "You pretty much know me by now." She says, "What do you mean?" As Deku removes the helmet, it says, "Izuku? But you look older. But you look way older, but somehow younger still." As Floppy says, "How?" Deku's like, "Well, I'll explain that in another time. But right now, I'm just focusing on fixing some of your bones and fixing your bone stuff." So, as Deku begins fixing her up and patching her up, Deku did the best. So Deku managed to bandage up her ribs, her arm, her leg, and Deku put an eye patch on her eye because it was oh, let's just say it was all puffy. Anyway, when in that time when Juno and Mina and Momo are talking, they're saying, Mina says, did you two actually kill someone?" As both of them shake their head, yes. As Momo's like, "I killed 3 people," and June says, "I killed 1 person." As Mina's like, "Oh, so I guess I guess we shouldn't talk about this when we become heroes." As Juno and Momo's like, we can't leave here, Mina." Mina's like, "What?" As they begin explaining, they're stuck here until they find another way out. Mina's like, "But so..." As Mina's about to say something, Deku basically cuts off the girl's conversation. Just says, Deku says, "Here, I patched her up the best I can." And like saying, "Man, you really don't, man, you really are good at, man, you really are good at this." Deku's like, "Yeah, I read a bunch of old books. But anyway, we should probably get going." As both of them say, "Right," as they're both leaving, Deku says, As Mina's like, how much further is 2 hours later? Mina says, how much further is it, Izuku? As Deku's like, a few more minutes. As Deku's like, but I'm too tired. As Deku's like, ugh. He begins sighing, just says, well, we're near an NCR base, but as as all the girls like saying, but what? Deku's like, it's filled with death claws and they're really hard to kill. I fought one before. More like I actually fought like several. They're really tough to kill, but you get a lot of cash and a lot of experience. So we're not going to that spot. We're going to, I remember this place, the abandoned the Brotherhood of Steel bunker, the abandoned bunker. As like saying, okay, how much further is that? Deku says, 5 hours, and Mina says, come on! As Deku is like, so, I've just gotten all this done, so as both of them saying, are we there yet? And Deku's like, yeah, we're here. As both like saying, where is it? As Deku begins walking more and more and begins going straight down until they follow him and they see a cover. Just says, and Deku says, listen, if you don't want to get in, I'm fine with that. But this is going to be the only place we have time for. So plus, it's getting late. And we don't want to get raided at night. Raiders are more active in the night. As all the girls say, okay. As Deku lifts the manhole cover, all the girls begin going in. They find a body, and all the girls like freaking. Well, the two girls, Floppy and Mina, are like freaking out. However, Juno and Momo are not. For some reason, they're like got used to it, and Deku's like, oh. When Deku got down, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, let me just take care of this. Grabs the body and begins pushing the body up and just throws it off the cliff. Gets back down. Deku says, there, there. The body's gone. And the two of them say, what's with this? And Deku's like, oh. You see, this old radio was, well, let's just say that radio, it is a death trap when I went here. And I had to fight for my life. So, yeah. As Juno and Momo were like, they understood Deku, which they didn't. Somehow they didn't, but they just did. As Mina and Juno began walking down, they see a bunch of bunk beds in the radio. As Deku just gets pissed off and just shoots it, like saying, why'd you do that? As Deku says, well, I don't like that music, okay? As Juno and Momo are like, okay. Momo, Juno, Mina, Floppy are like, okay. As all the girls like go in their bunk beds, Deku unlocks a secret door. And he begins researching, analyzing, and trying to find anything that is useful to how to understand some things and to do some work, to get some work done in that laboratory. But anyway, that's where we end the video off. If you did enjoy this, please smash that like button and the subscribe button. It really helps this channel a lot, but I'll talk to y'all later.